This conference will now be recorded.
She went. So she's got everything covered.
Okay.
Is she coming?
Jobs.
Oh,
Oh, Rebecca. No.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know about Rebecca.
I didn't hear one way or another. I don't know if you want to get started or.
Notification from Rebecca. Do you want me to text her quickly?
I did not.
Let's just text
Well, while we're sitting here, is everybody good with their email? We're getting you squared away. And he said he hasn't pulled all of them down, and he was putting
Yeah.
yours to the top. So
Scott tried to troubleshoot. He wasn't able to find anything, but he's looking into it.
they'll follow through until it's taken care of. Okay. I think I saw the one with the proof point.
Well, the proof point, that was one issue.
Okay.
Also,
Mm-hmm.
access it on my phone. I kept meaning to text you about that.
I can let you know when they're here next because
I've been running around so much.
I'm sure.
able to text you on my email.
I don't know if they're in again I don't know if they're in Monday or the following week.
They were just in both of them all day this past Monday.
Yeah. I'll check and see when they're going to be here again, and then they can walk you through it.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yep. A lot of time, you know what, I'll send you their email as well, because then they can call you directly or whatever and help you get.
Oh, I didn't even see it. I'm sorry. I had notifications shut off, actually. I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
So I think we are good now. Are you seated? Well, seated.
Yep.
Good. Good evening, everybody. I would like to call the Chesterfield Township Committee meeting on September 25th, 2025 to order. We'll start with a flag salute and a moment of silence.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Karen, can we read the sunshine statement and take the roll call, please?
Sure. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting has been given by filing written notice with the Township governing body and the Township clerk, mailing written notice to the Township's official newspapers and the Township website, posting written notice on the official bulletin board in the Chesterfield Township Municipal Building, and providing notice to all requested same. Ms. Batra?
Here.
Ms. Hughes?
Here.
Ms. Codestale?
Here.
Mr. Litt?
Here.
Mr. Dopty?
Here. Moving on to the next section, are there any agenda matters requiring recusal? None? Okay. Can I have an approval to approve the minutes? Sorry. Can I have a vote?
So moved.
Yeah. To approve the minutes for the August 28th meeting. Second, we got the second also, right, Suruchi? Okay. Can I have your vote to approve?
Aye.
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 Moving on to the public comments section. This is open to all the comments, whether it is an item on the agenda or otherwise. My only request to the Township Committee is not to respond till the public comments section is over, and then you can respond, because it just goes back and forth and we take longer than 3 minutes. So please withhold your comments till we close the public comment section, and then each one of you will have an opportunity to respond. But I would like to get motion to open it for public comments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, seeing none. Anybody online?
And me, I'll ask the question.
Go ahead, state your name first, please.
Agnes Marcella, 42 Cromwell. I have a question about a comment about resolution 2025-9-12, awarding a contract to Atoyo Group to provide the TDR program analysis. My question is, who benefits from this analysis and who pays for it?
She wants to know the reason this is being done and who's paying for it.
Okay. Well, the township will be paying for it if it's voted on and approved later tonight. This was a RFP that was issued by the township as a result of our affordable housing obligations and what's going on with the Affordable Housing and the Fair Housing Act amendments that were recently passed as part of our the township's housing element and fair share plan, which we recently submitted. We need to do a updated analysis on the TDR and the credits. That has not been done since its inception, so it's long overdue and something that has to be done to update our housing element and fair share plan. So somewhat of a requirement, and that's why they went out for the proposals. And this is the recommendation is to contract this evening with Otto Group to perform that analysis.
So the redeveloper doesn't benefit from that analysis. I mean, shouldn't the developer pay for that is my question, I guess.
Yeah, well, for the township, to order for the township to further evaluate whether or not they need to alter some of their ordinances with regards to set aside percentages and things for affordable housing and inclusionary developments, and for us to basically effectuate and substantiate our housing element and fair share plan, the analysis is pretty much mandatory at this point, because people are questioning, and challenges that have been issued are questioning how that came, that analysis that was done many, many years ago. So again, it's been.
Well, if those people are questioning, why can't they pay for the analysis?
Agnes, just if you could please just give us your comments and then we'll reply.
Okay, thanks.
Public comment. Did you have anything else to say?
That was pretty much it.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? I would like to have a motion to close public comments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody from the township committee would like to comment on what was requested or the explanation that was requested by Agnes at this point in time? I would withhold my comments till we come to that resolution, but if anybody thinks it's urgent. Oh. Moving on, ordinances for introduction. Ordinance 2025-11, an ordinance adopting the redevelopment plan entitled Redevelopment Plan Block 104 and lots 3 and 4, 457 and 463 Ward Avenue pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law NJSA 40A:12A-1. Can I have a motion to introduce ordinance 2025-11?
Can I ask first for an explainer? I read it and I'm not 100% certain on what we're doing, so I just like an explainer.
This is the introduction of the ordinance, and I believe the clerk has provided you with a copy of the redevelopment plan, the draft version of it. This introduction and your vote on it tonight will then refer that to the planning board, and Mr. Attorney, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right so far.
It'll be referred to the planning board for review, and then it'll be returned to you with their comments and any changes that are recommended to it. And at that time, you can decide whether or not to fully adopt it.
And the redevelopment has been requested by our planning board, or has been suggested or recommended by our planning board staff, not by planning board, sorry, by that, who's recommending this, or what's the background to this?
The background is there's a developer interested in the property. It's an area that was deemed in need of redevelopment, non-condemnation. There's a developer that is pursuing developing the property within the established uses for it. They've come in, they've given their preliminary concept. We've had several exchanges with them. We had a committee that met with them. We're satisfied with what they're looking for, that it fits into the plan as established by the decision to make it an area in need of redevelopment. Our planner has gone through. She has drafted a plan that sets forth all of the land use guidelines, the permitted uses, all of the different conditions by which they can develop the property.
So, yeah.
So they would have to do it within those guidelines. However, there's a review by the planning board that would first review it.
Perfect. So you answered my questions. The planner recommended this based on all the internal review that has been completed, and it's our process now to
Yes.
send it over to the planning board
Correct.
for them to make the final comments.
Yes. And there were early recommendations. One I can point out to you was that there was a recommendation that they pursue obtaining the property adjacent to the original parcel that was being looked at. They have come to an agreement with that property owner, so it would make a nicer project. So their original concept has been modified with that in mind. So
Follow it. Thank you. I'm clear now. I was not making the connection. Now I make the connection.
okay.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm going to abstain on the introduction. I'm not necessarily opposed, but I mean, George, you're saying you're satisfied with the information that you have, and I mean, this is the first I've seen of it is, you know, being on an agenda that we were sent 2 days ago. So I was not part of the subcommittee. I don't have the background information that I feel is necessary to vote to introduce this. So not necessarily opposed to the project, but need to get more information before I'm comfortable voting for
Okay.
it.
Can I have a motion to introduce ordinance 2025-11?
So moved. Again.
All in favor? I think we'll have to take.
I'll do roll call. Ms. Botcher?
Yes.
Ms. Hughes?
I'm going to abstain.
Ms. Codestale?
Yes.
Mr. Litt?
Yes.
Mr. Dopty?
Yes. Thank you. And the hearing will be,
The 20, yeah, it'll be the second meeting, the 23rd of October.
Don't we have a meeting earlier in October?
Yeah, but the planning board has to, this has to be
Oh, that
referred to
has
the
be
planning
referred to
board.
the planning board.
Yes.
So this is only, yeah, okay.
take it to them and they'll probably
Right, right.
meet
So
on the
that's other
21st and
thing.
they'll give
We're
their
not
comments and come.
approving the actual-
First meeting would be the 9th.
Yeah, but that's
23rd. Okay. So on the 23rd will be, we
The
would have
23rd will be
received-
on for adoption.
Correct, but we would have received the comments from the planning board by that time.
Mhm.
because They meet earlier.
Correct.
Perfect, got it. Moving on to section 7, resolutions. Resolution 2025-9-01, resolution 2025-9-02 are resolutions for canceling taxes due to veterans. Can I have a motion to adopt resolution 2025-9-01 and 2025-9-02?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 2029-03, resolution authorizing the membership in a mutual aid and assistance agreement with participating units.
This is
George.
standard.
This is standard. Can you,
Every 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years. This is a renewal of an existing agreement that the township is a participant in with the county and all other entities that participate in this mutual aid agreement. And it's just what it sounds like. It's our pledge and other entities' pledges to render aid to other agencies, fire, first aid, police, emergency management that may be in need of that and without cost to the requesting agency. Chief, I sent you a copy on this. It's a memorialization of something that's been going on for generations, quite frankly.
got it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Then we have 2 resolutions for appointing new members to the Public Works Department. Can I have the resolution 2025-9-04, resolution appointing Drew Campbell to the position of Public Works Laborer, and resolution 2029-9 2025-9-05, resolution appointing Douglas DiPiano to the position of Public Works Laborer. Can I have a
moved.
motion?
I just
So moved.
want to point out, just for the public's benefit, that these are not new positions. These are filling
Oh.
vacancies,
Point.
And just
long time
And that,
vacancies.
and that fills, that's what he requested, and now he is full for what he presented to the board, the committee for
I think that's 9 members, if I'm not wrong.
8.
8.
8 members. Okay.
So I'll vote to, move the-
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 2025-9-6, resolution appointing Christopher Sweeney as full-time police officer. So can I have a motion to approve resolution 2025-9-6? All in favor? Aye.
And to Matt's point, that's also to fill a vacancy.
I'll fill in vacancies.
I was going to ask
Yes.
the chief. I'm glad that we have the vacancy filled.
are we fully staffed now?
We are not.
How many down are we?
I'm sorry.
How many down are we?
Well, right now we're at 10. Including the 2 in the academy who we won't see until late December. That would be 12. Weenie would make 13, making it full, but we do have a retirement and that'll bring that back down. So still a work in progress.
Moving on, resolution 2025-9-07, resolution certifying compliance with regulations promulgated by the local finance board regarding the 2024 municipal audit. Can we provide a little bit of background to the public on this resolution?
Yes, this is our certification that we've received our audit from our auditor, reviewed it, and complied with any recommendations or findings in the audit.
Which there are none.
No.
And I would like to tell you that I did attend the meeting with the auditor as well. Both, I think George and I and you sat in because at that time our finance controller was unavailable, and we did very well. There had been no major findings. There was some minor procedural changes that the auditor has recommended, and I think hats off to our CFO. Thank you. I would like to thank Wendy and her staff for making sure that we do follow all the compliance procedures that are required, and our accounts look to be in good order. Audit proved it out, and small procedural changes, everybody gets those recommendations. Every auditor has to make some recommendations, so I did not find anything major there. I don't know if George, you or Karen, you would like to add anything to that.
No, I think it was clear. Just that before you all leave tonight, I need your signature. Everyone's
Yeah, I
signature.
would like to echo what Sri had to say. I think we have, this is many, I've sat on this committee, I don't think we've ever had one audit that did have anything more than minor. So I think, we owe our staff a big thanks for keeping us on a great path in terms of our finances.
Thank you. So can I have a motion to approve resolution 2025-9-7?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Resolution 2025-9-8, resolution authorizing submission of an award extension request for project identified as LA 2024 MA Chesterfield Township improvements to Marjoram Road. George, can you provide a little bit?
This is your blessing for the township through our engineer to request an extension on our grant from the state of New Jersey for Marjoram Road. As you recall, there were some changes made to the plan that had been previously submitted, so we still have to go out to bid and award a bid, and we would need an extension on our grant to accommodate those changes. So this is our request of the state of New Jersey. Allow us more time.
And do you see any issues with this request?
No,
Standard procedure.
no, it's, we made changes and we're asking to be accommodated.
Okay.
And we may not need it at the end of the day because it's possible that we have a resolution on by the end of October.
Okay, that'll be good.
Right, it's the award of the contract, that's
The award of contract by the end of the month, so, or by the end of October.
So you may not need
So,
that
so this is just to make sure that we're covered just in case.
just in case. Okay, so if we get everything done in time,
Then this won't be needed. Mhm.
so just a backup.
I move that we adopt the resolution.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 2025-9-09, resolution to affirm the Township of Chesterfield's civil rights policy with respect to all officials, appointees, employees, prospective employees, volunteer, independent contractors, and members of the public that come into contact with municipal employees, officials, and volunteers. Can you provide a little bit brief on this?
Yes, and this is at the impetus of the joint insurance fund. This is a requirement, and we are fulfilling our requirement before November 1st to have this resolution adopted. And again, it states our position on respecting and enforcing the civil rights of all the affected groups that you just mentioned. There's a reporting mechanism. It's described in our handbook, so we are in compliance, but this is a memorialization of our adherence to the civil rights policy.
And you're aware of your obligations, George, under this resolution?
Yes.
There's quite a few requirements of the township.
Yes, there are. But honestly, they're covered in our handbook. It talks about harassment, and the biggest thing is the reporting mechanism. How do people bring these to our attention? And that is through, I am the compliance officer. Yeah.
And there's an alternative in the event that someone has an issue with the township administrator?
I don't know if that's contained in the policy or not.
I don't know, but we could look.
If it's a problem with me, it would go up to Dominic.
Mhm.
All right.
Be my guess.
Maybe you and Dominic should talk about that because I think there should be an alternative route just to. Yeah.
Want to wait, approve, or we are good to approve?
I would say you.
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
So-
I'm comfortable approving it as long as, I'm comfortable approving it as long as George and Dominic are on the same page that they're going to discuss.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are not going to introduce, or we're not going to vote on resolution 2025-9-10. So I'm going to move on to resolution 2025-9-11. Resolution authorizing emergency appropriations. Now, my understanding is this is required for the next resolution. Correct. But, you can provide a brief.
Yes. You've referenced 9-12, and that is a contract that would be awarded to the Otto Group. We did not budget for this. We were unaware that we would need it when the municipal budget was adopted. So we have to do an emergency appropriation. We don't have another source of funding dedicated to this in our budget. So this resolution authorizes that emergency appropriation that, if necessary, would be paid off in next year's budget. However, there is the possibility that if sufficient funds exist at the end of this year, we could transfer those. Our CFO could transfer them to cover this expenditure.
Can this come from the trust fund?
We don't have the money in the trust fund.
I thought we had like between 50 and 60 and then less than that. You know how much is in it?
I'm not sure exactly how much is in it. I know it's not that high.
Dom, I like to play devil's advocate. So what are the consequences of us voting no on 11 and 12?
But then we don't have the analysis done, and I would say it's virtually impossible for us to make any changes in terms of densities and things like that in the receiving area for credits and things like that, where we're trying to work with our affordable housing obligation and trying to work out a way for us to provide a reasonable opportunity for that affordable housing in the next 10 years. So in my opinion, it's crucial. I know it's a decent amount of money, but it's something that hasn't been done since you started TDR here, and I think it's something that needs to be updated anyway, regardless.
Which is what, going on 30 years?
1998, the ordinance went into effect.
Matt, just to add on to what Dominic said, the subcommittee, we discussed this pretty extensively. There were two different bids. Our township folks went back and forth to make sure that this bid that was like half the price of the other one would include everything and be just as, effective as the other bid. Our plan, in order to be able to figure out where we're going to put affordable housing and how much and where it's going to go and make sure it's cost effective and economically feasible. I mean, we need to have this type of information.
You're supportive of it?
I am, yeah.
Oh, and so am I,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
And, we, like Rebecca said, our planner felt that this was necessary to go forward with what we need to
What's
do.
the expected timeline for them to finish the analysis? Do we know?
75 days.
It says 75 days is
75 days.
their time frame once awarded, if it's awarded.
If it's awarded.
This will just go to show that we are doing our homework properly. We are following our independent party's recommendation, and then we're taking all that into account. So that just goes to show to the fair share authorities as well as anybody else that we are following best practices and we are trying to do the best we can.
And how would they present the report? Would it be open for public to come and look at the analysis, or how do we plan on it?
I believe with our follow up with them, they think they did say they would present, right? They would
I
come and
believe so.
present
Present.
at a public, so there would be
think
a
so.
presentation at some point.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would, if that's not in there, we definitely need.
Yeah, I believe we clarified that,
Yeah.
and they agreed to do that.
And I mean, I feel like we're kind of talking in circles, just like so the public understands. I mean, this specific evaluation is not a piece of this new statute that requires all these affordable housing requirements that we've been talking about over the last couple of months. But we did have to submit a plan, and our plan is being challenged legally by a couple different entities. So this evaluation is going to be part of that challenge. And there's a lot going on behind the scenes in affordable housing in Chesterfield that, I mean, I think that we should, if possible, provide some type of like public update so that people know what's going on and it's not all just happening in executive session.
Yes, I
It's
agree, because
important, yeah.
we need to have this information in order to also, when we go to court, to answer these challenges that have been brought
What I
against the
propose
township.
then is when we're going to have the presentation, the same day we have a special meeting where we discuss the status of the affordable housing, where we stand, what are the challenges that the town is facing, and we can follow it up with the presentation as to what are the recommendations by this vendor who has done that independent analysis.
And along the way too, again, I'm not trying to hide anything. So like, I don't mind, once in a while updating during the meeting
Right.
where we're at, if it's not,
Absolutely, but
privileged
No, I think
information
we
or
need
anything
to
like
do
that.
that. I think the public has the right to
Right to
know.
know.
Sure, it was
what
like
we're
75
facing.
days also.
Yes, absolutely.
No, I'm not saying we should not. All I'm saying is that day we should have a full special meeting just for this, and probably makes sense for anybody who wants to come up to speed with whatever is happening can attend the special meeting that day and come up to speed.
Okay.
Okay, so I need to approve 2025-9-11 first before we approve 2025-9-12, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
You need to have the funds available before you can come.
Motion.
Second,
So motion to approve 2025-9-11. Can I have a vote?
How about if I do a roll call for this?
Sure.
Because Ms. Botcher,
Yes.
Ms. Hughes, Ms. Codestale,
yes.
Mr. Litt,
Yes.
Mr. Doherty.
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving on to resolution 2025-9-12, resolution awarding a contract to Auto Group Inc. To provide an TDR program analysis and affordable housing evaluation. Can I have a motion?
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Moving on to section 8, the bills list. I hope everybody had an opportunity to review the bills list. Do you have any questions? Can I have a motion to approve the bills list?
Moved.
Second,
School tax levy is a part of the bill list, I noticed, right?
We always put that on the bill list.
It's on the bill.
I mean, it doesn't, we have to pay it.
Yeah, I know.
We collect the taxes, the township collects them.
Mhm.
and then we.
We're on a
send
schedule to
them
pay
out
them
to
a
the-
certain amount each
Yeah,
month.
so the township, my understanding is the township is the only one that has the ability to collect taxes. The school cannot directly, so we have to do that. We collect them, and then they go right out, the portion that goes to the schools.
It's with us for 21 days or 30 days before it goes out to the school. And
We have a
I
motion.
also think, can I have a motion?
I have a motion.
Second,
Thank
all
you.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I can also tell you this is the first time that this bill list has been prepared by our temporary assigned, I would say, financial committee people. I'd not call it committee, financial vendor. And I reviewed the list. I think they did a good job. They put everything out
Yeah,
clearly and
pretty comprehensive.
pretty comprehensive. Moving on to section 9, reports and discussions. Anything from the township committee liaisons? That's the first topic.
Let's go and I'll find the date.
Okay.
Well, Matt and I have an update about the subcommittee coming up. The HPC itself is going through with their normal work. Nothing outstanding. I'm on the liaison to the Alliance, and they are kind of in a lull right now, but they are working with the school to do every year they do a assembly at the school on drug and alcohol issues, and they are setting up a date with the school to do that. So that's a great organization that's affiliated with the township all through grant money. And I don't think that we as a township are as aware of what they do. They do the music in the square in the summer and several other activities. So I just kind of want to give a shout out because they really, really need some new. They're down to about 3 people or 4 people. So they really would like to have some, especially parents of middle school and high school students or elementary school, for some new members to join that group, and they meet on the first Monday of the month at 4 o'clock, which is part of the reason I think they have a difficulty. But they have one of their members who attends is on the staff, and they don't pay her separately, so she comes during her work hours. But they really could use some parents after school to be involved in planning their programming, because they do some great programming around alcohol and drug, fighting alcohol and drugs in our youth. And I just wanted to mention that.
The volunteers have to fill up the form on the.
Yeah,
website
they
to be part of-
online but yes. Or they could reach out to me on the website. I could certainly forward it to Haley, because Haley is the staff member. So they could either email me or Haley, and we would certainly get them, the form and make sure they.
Would this be part of?
Yes, actually there is, Lakshmi is on it. Lakshmi, I want to say Singh, but we do have one. And they've had high schoolers in the past, but just none currently, except for Lakshmi.
Okay.
I found the date. Rigid plastics recycling is Saturday, November 8th from 10 to 2 over at DPW. It's biannual at this point. Great opportunity to get rid of flower pots, buckets, Little Tykes toys, all those things will be there.
I'd just like to provide an update on the financial advisory committee. Both Rebecca and I did meet them. There were this time 6 different people who attended, if I'm not wrong. And they are looking at all our, I would say, finances and coming up with some really interesting questions. So the 2 things that they are really interested in reviewing right now, or at least the one thing, and they did bring it up, is they wanted to review the analysis that we have done for something like garbage collection. And they also wanted to meet George because they wanted to understand how do we plan capital expenditure? What are the key things that we have? How do we decide on capital expenses? And how are they proposed to the township committee? So we plan to meet again October 6th. And George has agreed that he'll come and he'll talk to them and he'll walk them through how we plan for our capital expenditure. Unfortunately, since our CFO is not available, I do think George would be, I think he has the knowledge, he has the experience, and he can certainly address most of their questions. Anything else that you'd like to add on the Financial Advisory Committee?
It's a great group of people. I'm happy that we expanded it to this year-round committee because I think that they're going to go into this budget season really understanding things, and we'll have some new, unique perspectives on our budget.
Then a second update that I had was on the Economic Advisory Committee. So we had Gilda Lynch, I think that's, if I'm getting her last name right. So she did reach out to me, and she had done some detailed analysis of, I would say, farm to table trails in Chesterfield. And she's trying to get to agritourism and, getting more business for our farming community, getting Chesterfield on the map for agritourism and things like that. So she had done analysis of a couple of agritourism opportunities and farm to table type of opportunities throughout the US, right from Texas, Oregon, and there's one in Massachusetts. And she wants to reach out to the members of the Ag Board, to other farmers within town, and she wants to kind of get feedback. And she's trying to now organize a meeting with one of the successful ones. I think she's trying to get the one in Oregon, the board there, to talk to us and tell them, share with us how they did it, how they engaged the community, how they engaged the farmers, how has their experience been in setting it up, as well as how is their experience being in running it. And I think I've shared it with all the Ag Board members. I've shared it with a couple of our farmers. And I'm looking forward to getting more feedback, to seeing if this is something that we in our town can support. Maybe we have to do it with the neighboring towns. Maybe we can do it all on our own. And I also think that we'll need advice from our, SADC, as well as, from the county. So
Yes.
I at some point in time would want to also engage Brian Wilson and Chuck Roor and get their advice on how this can be implemented in a town. But this is a great initiative. There was some, I would say, detailed study done by someone from the Economic Advisory Board. I think this is what the board is all meant to do, right? This is one of the things that we want to do for Chesterfield. And I hats off to Linda. She's put in a lot of effort, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and I hope she can succeed. And we would like to see her succeed.
I think it sounds wonderful. I absolutely wonderful. I just want to make sure that you get Brian Wilson and Chuck Roll in on the beginning, so you don't go down, because in New Jersey it's very tightly regulated, and there's a lot of rules in terms of what you can do on preserved farms, and many of our farms, most of them are preserved in one way or another. But I think it's something that I think our farmers really look forward to doing to support their work. So
What's the best
hands
way?
off to those two groups.
I would love to get a handle on, because you just said, Denise, it's tightly regulated, and I know it is. Where is the best place for me to go, or anyone on the community to go, to educate themselves on what a farm can and can't?
I actually, because we had a big meeting here, and they handed out to everyone what the regulations were, and I still have that. But Brian and Chuck Rule are the two folks that, Brian is in charge of preserved farmland in the county, and he's the one that oversees what they're allowed to do. And Chuck Rule is the equivalent of that on the state level. So they're the ones that oversee to ensure that preserved farmland is falling within the guidelines on everything, including, these types of initiatives.
I would love to get a sense of what they can do, because I've seen it done so well. Like, I spent a lot of time in Vermont, and there are farms there that have some of the best restaurants I've ever been to, and it's nothing but like tables and chairs set up outside a farm. Like, it's irrespective of the regulations, but the regulations aside for a second, like, it's things that we could absolutely do here.
Well, I can show you that packet that
I'd love to see that.
And then if you wanted to reach out to Brian, is very accessible, very friendly, very,
Both, in
always
fact,
happy.
are residents of Chesterfield, Chuck Roor and Brian.
Yeah, that's great.
Well,
Chuck might have moved out.
he's not in the town, yeah, but he's nearby.
He grew up
He
here
grew up.
Yes,
on Newbold Lane.
my neighbor.
They are very much invested in making sure that it works for Chesterfield. So they'll give us good guidance.
That's great.
Anybody else? Otherwise, I'll move on to the next one. like to get an update on the HPC subcommittee meeting. I know there was one planned for September 17th. Any updates?
I'll start and then you can. So the subcommittee, in terms of the ordinance itself, we've had several meetings and it's worked out really well. Wanted to thank Dominic for coming to the last one to answer questions that the subcommittee had. I think we're in a good place in terms of going forward with that. But it has come clear through feedback from subcommittee members and from Dominic's telling us and everything, that in order to change and the ordinance to the degree that we are changing it, we do have to go through the process of survey, notifying the public, and it's a detailed kind of a complicated. So we had decided, Matt and I, that we really, and Dominic, with Dominic's strong advice, that we need to go on a kind of a parallel track. So the current membership would continue to work on the wording of the ordinance, and then we'd like to have another group formed to work through the other pieces of it, the survey, and that involves reaching out to professionals and to help us with the survey, look at the survey. So I feel that I would like to have 2 members of this group, probably Matt and I, since we're the ones that have been working on this, 2 members from the HPC themselves, and then 2 other members or 3 other members from the community. But I wanted to run that past this group to make sure that you're comfortable with that. You want to do that I think that out of this subcommittee, I think has come to me a lot of information about things that I wasn't necessarily aware of, that people have said, well, this happened, that happened. And I have found it to be very educational. And I think that it's going to make a much stronger ordinance for that. I mean, I think we had a great ordinance coming from Matt and our attorney, but I think also what we hope to get, which was feedback from the community, I think we've gotten. We've had some, I think there's a couple people here that we've had a couple of meetings, I think, where, it's gotten where we've had some pretty intense discussions, but I think we're getting to a good place. And I think that getting feedback from those different members in terms of going forward would also be helpful. But I'd like to, I think it's important that the entire township committee is behind that plan. And Matt, I don't know if you have anything you want to add or.
Nothing to add other than, I mean, I agree. I think the last meeting in particular was productive. Thank you to Dom for coming out for an extra night and coming in educated and ready to kind of talk about it. I think that really moved.
He was very educated. A whole briefcase full of.
Yeah.
I'm
It was impressive.
getting very knowledgeable in this area, which is great. It's
Yeah, it was a good meeting for sure. And I agree. I think everyone who's been a part of the subcommittee from the public has contributed in a very meaningful way, which is great. In terms of me being the liaison, my only issue with it is that I won't be on the committee in 3 months. So I don't know if that's something to consider.
I was going to ask that we initially thought this will be a short-term thing and we'll probably have a new HPC ordinance soon. But at this point in time, since we're going to have 2 parallel tracks, looks like it's going to take longer than we had originally planned to get these 2 tracks done. But I still think you should continue because you have that knowledge, and even if you are not on the township committee, you can continue as a subcommittee member.
And if we need to have another liaison, I think we can certainly. I think probably we can get somebody else from the sitting committee at that time.
Okay.
That would be, I mean, it's up to you, Matt. I mean, obviously this is your time commitment, so.
No, that's fine.
But I didn't know if anybody else on the committee had questions or wanted to make any comments or anything about that, or we'll just go ahead and start forming that group if you're all. We may need at some point to come to this body, and I don't know because we have to look at the budget for the HPC, but we would need to have at least to do a survey, have some professional involvement in that, that here again. There may need to be some expenditure for that.
We have to get it done. We have already decided to change it, and we have to get it done the right way.
And that really is a requirement. So, okay, well, if you're all right with that, then I'll ask Karen. I'll give Karen some, who to send out to, and we can, I think we could start with the people that are on the current subcommittee in terms of, a couple people outside of, but I would be happy to see anybody that has an interest. So, but anyway, thank you.
Okay, moving on to the next topic is the Harvest Festival. It's right here. It's on knocking on our doors. Saturday, we're looking forward to it. Looks like a beautiful day, but please go ahead and provide an update.
We had our final meeting today. As you know, Rachel won't be there with us on Saturday, but she has gone above and beyond to make sure all of us have our marching orders. If you look in our office, there's materials all over, but every one of them has someone assigned to bring them out to the location to set them up. So we're in as good a shape as we could possibly be. The turnout, according to Rachel, for the tables, is the first year we've charged, is the most she's ever had. She had to turn people away finally because she's too full.
Wow,
The
that's
tents,
wonderful.
the tents were set up today. It's a different vendor. It's a different style tent, but she was pleased with it. Troy and his crew were out there, and the price is about $2,000 less than our normal cost with our former vendor. So the funds are in place. We're in good shape. It looks like it's going to be a good day. And we've all been told who we're filling in for. Karen and Haley or Rachel for the day.
No, Haley's Rachel.
Haley's Rachel for the day.
Karen is Karen.
They'll be
Karen.
checking in.
We're Haley.
They'll be checking in
Maggie and I are
as
Haley.
they arrive. The chief was in. His people are all ready. I think we're in good shape. We're in really good shape.
Is there anything you need from the township committee, either as a body or individually between now and then?
Just be there. We'll have our tent set up, but you don't have to hide under it. Mingle, talk among yourselves, do whatever you please. But it should be a great day. Really should be good.
Everybody got a beautiful volunteer T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
I can tell you that Patrick, our entertainer from last year, will be there again this year. He's got an updated sound system. So when there are public announcements to be made, they should be a lot more audible for the folks. They can understand what we're saying. I think everything's in place, right, Chief?
yes, sir.
But I really have to tip my hat to Rachel. She is really making sure things are lined up in her absence. So
She always does a great
yeah,
job.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
Yep. so we're in good shape.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to the Chesterfield Fall Train 5K run and road closures. I know I saw an email to that effect. Firstly, it's a great activity. It's something we like to promote in our town, health and well-being, and this contributes to that. One doesn't have to run, they can walk as well. And this is the third year, I believe, they're doing it. So I'm very excited about it. I am probably not going to run because of other issues, but I will be there.
I'm going to walk. I'm not going to run, but I'm walking in it.
Unfortunately, medical reasons prevent me from running. But I will be there. And any update on that?
No, we have all the recommendations from the chief and Troy. They're on the form. They know the deal out there. And their detail is really impressive. The chief puts in every cone, every barrel, every man spot, every non-man spot. Nothing is really left to chance. Troy's people are ready to assist. I think we're going to have a signboard out. Morning, folks.
Yes, correct.
So we're in good shape. Also, the following item on your agenda is the same day, and it's
Okay.
going to follow the race. And the chief has an idea, because that road will already be blocked off, instead of taking it down and re-blocking it just an hour or so later, we're going to maintain that blockage. So there's continuity in the street. So we don't have folks coming in, parking, and then needing to move off. So he's got that well under control as well.
That's just the Children Road that will be closed?
Yes.
The only one that will remain closed, the one that'll be maintained is Chilton.
Children.
So that,
Do we need to vote on that?
Yes.
Or that? Yeah,
You
okay.
need to vote on the road closures.
Yeah, that's what
I was just waiting until you were done
Motion.
talking about the two up. Yep, just a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
I didn't mean to interrupt. I just want to make sure we didn't forget.
No,
Oh, no,
I
no.
was just waiting for him to finish before I asked.
Official thing on.
She's
the
always
agenda.
waiting for me to finish.
She's more polite than I am.
Is that the Saturday that they can't have flag football? Is the flag football canceled? They were telling me that there's a Saturday that.
It's a
That's for
Sunday,
the chicken
Sunday.
barbecue.
It's a
Oh, that's for the chicken barbecue. Oh,
Right,
that's
chicken
something we were
barbecue,
talking
yeah.
about.
It's on the 19th, I believe, right?
I
October
forget what the day was.
Chicken barbecue's on the 12th.
Because they had asked me why the fields were unavailable that day, and I couldn't quite put it together. I
Yeah.
was looking at our calendar. Okay.
I think that Saturday and Sunday, they wouldn't be available there. Mhm.
Makes sense. Okay.
Thank goodness.
I was going to say, I personally, and I will speak as a committee woman, am so thrilled to see the chicken barbecue come back, and we should
Been a
all
while since
support
we've
our
done it.
fire department in that.
Amen.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yes. Disaster.
moving on, I think we covered a Chilton Road closure.
Mhm.
Memorial bench program. Oh, this was a grand success. But I will I'll share my experience and I'll then let everybody else share their experience. So I was involved on the first Saturday. No, this is the second. No, this is not the okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to take my words back. This is the memorial bench program. This is not the repainting and refurbishing.
But we should
we did
send
do
out
that.
a big thank you to Sava for
Yes,
all that their
Seva,
work.
I was going to say that.
I think I would like to recommend that we actually do a resolution thanking them next meeting, because that saved the township and our public works department so much money and time, and I think they wanted to do some more, didn't they? He sent us email at some one point.
They did, and we got more supplies. We got
Okay.
More stain,
You were able to
more
get
sanding blocks, and
And they did
But
what,
I think-
61 plus benches?
I forget the exact number. I know they went through dozens of them and still had several left that
And
they
what-
wanted to do,
yeah.
so.
So we owe them a huge thank
And I can only tell you that I was so, I would say, grateful, and I was so overwhelmed when I saw seniors sitting and sanding those benches at Friendship Park. They cleaned them, they sanded them, they painted them, and these are like 75, 80-year-olds who wanted to contribute. And again, it just takes a village, but there were volunteers, not just from Chesterfield and Mansfield and Bordentown, but the volunteers from Edison and Montgomery and Princeton that came. And obviously we had our Senator Tabor was also there. So it was an amazing, I would say, program. That now brings me to the item here, the Memorial Bench Program. This is something that we want to encourage within town. So go ahead.
Well, I'm going to bounce it to Dominic because he drafted the policy or the application and the procedure.
Right.
And he did some, I don't know if you got this somewhere, but you did a great job on it.
It was the first stab at it. So
Yeah.
this is what I was going to say, was that this is my initial draft. I mean, I'm sure there's details. I put blanks in here. I kind of just set the foundation, and I figured I'd let you guys take the ball and kind of finish it off. But I put together parameters that I thought were reasonable, at least looking at some other towns and other things in terms of, eligibility cost, that it'd be our property, the maintenance of it, the locations, keeping the discretion with the township committee and the township with consultation with the DPW. In the placement of those benches, and then I just put together like an application or request form that residents can submit. So I was asked to do it last meeting, so I put it together, and I guess it'd be more of internal review at this point. I think to finalize it before it's presented formally for some sort of motion or vote, if you guys want to institute the program.
Do we want to consider expanding it to more than just memorial? When I was down the shore a few weekends ago, they had, a bunch of different benches with different plaques, and I can't think of any of them right now, but they were much more than just memorials, that we may want to give other options.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
And I'm just going to back up for a second on a potential resolution thanking Seva. So I'm all for that. We should definitely do that. But I think it should maybe be more inclusive so that it includes all of our youth organizations, like the Boy Scouts. I don't want them to feel slighted.
I want to just do it related to the bench. Thank you for, and how many benches and that kind of thing.
I totally get it. I'm just thinking about all the good things the Boy Scouts have done without a resolution.
Well, I agree with you, but I think that actually the Cub Scouts did approach me about us doing a resolution in December for them, because I wasn't prepared to say this, so I don't remember, but it's some kind of a big anniversary. So, I think we can certainly leave it open to thanking other groups for
As long as we have them on the
whatever.
calendar, because
Yes.
because I'm just thinking back to
No,
Flag Day, Memorial Day. I mean, that was a lot of work too. That's to take nothing away from Saba. But I just, I don't want
That's
the
an
Boy
excellent
Scouts to
point.
feel slighted.
That's an excellent point. And, we also have the Boy Scouts who's offered to do our signs. That's going to be doing that as his Eagle Scout project. I think they brought that up before. So, yes, and I agree with you, Matt. And I think this is always something that's in my mind, that we need to always be conscious of thanking all of these organizations for what they do.
Okay. So anything more to add to the Memorial Bench program?
So I guess we'll read it and just give comments in terms of what we think, and then we'll have a
That's what I was going to
formal
suggest.
resolution
Yeah,
for the
then we
next
can
meeting.
Revise it accordingly if we need to. You're welcome.
Item G, Historic Society request parade for America's 250th year celebration.
We do have 2 members from the historical society here. I don't know if you want to ask them to come forward now or during public.
I think this is the right time to invite.
Do you want to come up,
you to
Kate?
come up.
I know you love public speaking.
And I gave up on the semi-quincentennial.
We had a chuckle this morning that it was the bicentennial
I
parade.
had been there a couple times. I said,
I
no,
was
just-
11 at that parade, so that was kind of funny. But no, thank you. So I'm Kate DeMemo. I'm a trustee on the Chesterfield Township Historical Society, past president. So have you all seen the memo I wrote? So it's just an idea of, and there's a lot of support. I've talked to other organizations. The Historical Society is supportive of it. I'm going to talk at the Community Association, the library. And obviously it's for the whole township, and all civic organizations would be invited to participate in the parade. I kind of see it, though, I would love it to be an old-fashioned parade where there's more people in it than watching. I mean, that's kind of what I see, but who knows? So, I mean, but if you have questions for me about it,
Well,
or if the
being
police have questions.
that road closures are at our mind because we've just approved 2. I don't know if you've approached the chief yet about.
I thought, Karen, you gave.
Yeah, but we're not ready to discuss
No,
on
I'm
that.
just saying,
Yeah.
well, I guess it's maybe more to make you aware, and it sounds like Karen's already made you aware that has to be approved.
Right. So the road closures have to be approved.
Mm-hmm.
On a conceptual level, this is awesome.
Oh, I think it's,
Great idea.
oh yeah, I support it. Yeah, I was older than 11 at the last one, and I was there. And it was wonderful, and I think this one would be equally wonderful.
Can the road closures be voted on tonight, or is that a whole
No,
separate
you
thing?
have to work with the chief and develop what your times, your dates, all of that, and then he'll
Okay.
go through with that.
So the letter has all that in there.
It does, but I only got eyes on this very, very recently.
Yes.
But we're talking about next year, so you have plenty of
Yeah.
time to work
In
that out.
addition, even though there are proposals for dates, times, locations, that all have to be reviewed and discussed. And so we can do that in the near future, just to
Okay.
get everything to where it needs to be.
Yeah, because if you have questions or another route proposed,
Yeah.
I'm open to that, but I just
Yeah.
understand
I think everybody's behind the idea of it. We just
Okay.
gotta definitely come to agreement on the details.
on the details of the road closures times.
et cetera.
Okay. So when would I know to be able to start promoting it? And
I think we're all in agreement that you can go ahead.
I can start promoting it
Yeah,
with
as
the
long as
date
you're-
and a time.
As long as you're willing to agree
You
that
need to know how many people
whatever
are
suggestions the police department has in terms of what route that you need to follow the police suggestions. But other than that, I think it's great. I think the community will really be thrilled to have.
Okay.
something
Date
like
and
this.
time she's going to need to have, at least. a date
Yeah, I
and
need some
time,
basic
but not
to
a-
reach
not
out
a
to people,
route
at
or
least the
anything.
date and time. I mean, the actual route can be changed a little bit, sure.
We need to know
Yeah,
how many
I'm
people
like
attend.
under
and
2 hours that I've even seen this, so I just need.
That is,
Sorry.
But you have a lot of time, 'cause you're not planning to do this until the spring, right?
No,
I mean,
it's June 6th,
6th.
but I need to
I
plan.
think you can have plenty of time to work out the details.
Yeah.
You could certainly, yeah, I mean,
But
but
I think
other than those details, you could certainly start
advertising.
that it's coming in some form or fashion.
Save the date, kind of.
Save the date,
Yeah,
just no
Get the word out.
specifics.
yeah. And I think
Yes.
the town will, just like we are, just super excited about the idea.
Oh, I
Or
think
few
so. I've
months.
already, like, I've
Details will
talked
come
to
later.
people, other groups, and again, it would be open to any civic organization in Chesterfield, obviously, to be in the parade. And I've already got some horses and some other things lined up. So
Love it.
Fun. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
yeah, so I'm very excited. So, okay, well, then I'll wait. I guess somebody will get in touch
You're
with
going
me.
to be here, will you be till the end of the meeting?
We don't have much more to go.
You're almost done. Oh, then I could be,
We
sure.
can just talk outside.
Oh, yeah. That's fine. All right. So no other questions about concept. Everybody's on board
No,
with the
I think it
concept,
sounds
and
wonderful.
so I can at least go to the community association and say this is coming and talk about a little more details with that. All right. Thank you so much.
This is awesome, Kate. I'm glad
you, Kate.
the Historical Society is on top of this so early.
Oh, yeah. Someone had approached us at one point and said, "What are we doing for the 250th?" And I thought we haven't had, like I said, a parade since probably the bicentennial. As far as a big one that I can, we've had small parades.
It's really cool.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And it's nice the town will have something people can attend for it, for the 250th of their countries. Okay.
The next one is a continuation of the recreation fee discussion. And one of the things I wanted to also do is, this is going to be an involved discussion. I also wanted to take this and get opinions from the Financial Advisory Committee as well. So that was my suggestion, but we are free to discuss it right now, or you want to move it to the next meeting? We can move to the next meeting, whatever you guys.
I only put it on because in the minutes it said that it was to be moved to the next meeting,
Yeah.
so.
I mean,
It's the only reason.
I think in the interest of having a fuller discussion, if you think that the finance committee would have some input,
Yeah, if there's more information or more.
I would rather have a
coming.
discussion when we
Input
have a
from the
full,
financial.
yeah, we have a full.
Yeah, let's get some feedback. I mean, that's why we.
Okay, perfect. So then we'll put this on hold till we get more feedback from the financial
You
advisor.
let me know when it goes back on.
Moving on to the next topic, reports of administration. Mayor's report. Nothing really comes to mind. I think I did share everything that had to as part of the liaison committee. Oh, one thing that does come to mind now that we have it. On the 29th of September from 6 p.m. or 6:30 p.m., we do have the inauguration of the Chesterfield Community Garden.
Oh, yes.
And I would request all of you to please attend. And, for me, what stands apart is how this garden came together, how few residents raised the money that is required for the garden. They did reach to the township, and the township had to give approval as well. But the effort was taken by a few residents. They, worked really hard to raise the donations, and they worked really hard to make this garden look beautiful. And today we see it, it's very pretty. It has, I would say, most of the lots taken. They have done an amazing job. I went and took a lot of pictures over the weekend over there. So if you didn't get time to visit it, please do visit it. So I think it's a good thing that we are doing a formal inauguration and recognizing all the donors and sponsors and everybody who's contributed to that garden.
I'd like to add that Seva, on a regular basis, since they maintain some of the plots, we donated some of the empty plots to Seva. So they donate a lot of produce to the food pantries, one of them being the Allentown Food Pantry, and they're really thankful of this gesture. So everybody is welcome to come take a tour of the garden on Monday at 6 p.m. That's when we'll have a ribbon cutting, the formal ceremony. So yeah.
I know. I think it's wonderful. I'm really looking forward to going. And I have to say, most of the time when I come in the evenings or afternoons or weekends over here to pick up stuff or to for a meeting or something, I almost always notice somebody either working there or coming to their car from working there or going. So it's very active. And like Matt said, it looks beautiful. It really does. It's a real asset. So as Sri said. So yeah. I think it was something that I think in the beginning we weren't sure they'd be able to pull together, and it was a very small group of people with a lot of energy and a lot of talent and a lot of drive, and I think we owe them a thanks for this service that's being offered to our community.
Moving on to the Township Committee. Any comments or any reports that you'd like to discuss?
Anything
Yeah, so very briefly, I just want to say, so I went to the Ganesh Utsav festival, which I know is redundant, right? Ganesh Festival. So I went and visited, and I left it. I can't help but think that there's something more we can do to get the greater community involved in it. I would love, it's almost a week long. I would love it if there was a way next year when there was a special hour or two put aside for the greater community to be invited. And to be clear, when I go, I mean, it's incredibly welcoming and warm, but I don't know that the greater community knows about that. So I wonder if there's something that could be done next year where the festival can, at a specific date and time, invite the greater community, the community that doesn't necessarily celebrate the Festival of Ganesh, because we have this huge event, this wonderful event where people are coming from all around, but it feels like a lot of the members of the community here feel kind of distanced from it. And I wonder if there's a way to bridge that gap next year. I don't have answers for it.
Excellent point.
Well,
I will.
On a side note, they cannot have food there if they are going to invite the public because their food license from the county is contingent upon them not inviting the public.
What if it's like potluck Tuesday?
That is
They
allowed,
can't.
but
No, they
discussed those-
cannot, if it is from the general public cannot attend if they are going to be having food there.
Okay.
That's the condition of their permit.
Yeah, I was there at the Board of Health. You're right that they cannot have, well, let's put it this way. There are certain regulations that the Board of Health has, and one of them being that it is residents within town making the food and consuming it within themselves, within their group. So we cannot,
Can't really advertise the event.
we cannot
mean,
advertise.
To let the neighbors know that please come and be a part of the
Because I
event.
know when I've gone, it's been mostly Chesterfield people that have been
Yeah.
there.
But I do like what your suggestion of having a day, like they have the cultural programs on Saturdays and Sundays, usually on the weekends. That's the perfect time to invite.
When they're not having food. Yeah.
And, people can stay behind for food. It's not that, but we can't advertise it.
And advertise the cultural program.
Exactly.
I'm sure there are obstacles, but I'm sure there's a way around
Yeah.
it. And I think it's worth thinking it through.
Because I think you're right. I think all of this serves to join our community together, right? I think that's one of the reasons why SEVA did the Memorial Garden for 9/11 was as a way of bringing all the groups together to work on something that was to the hearts of everyone, and I think that, getting to know each other's culture, experiencing that, I think that's a great idea, Matt. And I think it can be done in a way, when it's not food, not involving food.
That's a good point, Matt. Thanks for bringing it up. We'll definitely look into, I guess, including, we'll find a way.
To be clear, not a criticism by any
No.
means.
No.
No, you just want to unite the community as much as
I'm
possible.
really glad you could go and you could attend the event. So
Thank you for setting it up. I appreciate.
Unfortunately, I
setting it
couldn't
up.
join you that day. I was moving my daughter into college, so
No,
otherwise I would have been there.
please. No, that.
But we will do that, and I think you bring up a great point. I think cultural festival is a very great opportunity for us, and we should invite everybody to come and attend the cultural program. Stay behind. We can't advise it, but they stay behind.
Yeah.
They can also partake in the.
And we could talk about ways to do that would resonate with the other members of the community. Because to be clear, the other members of the community aren't doing a great job of showing up either. So
We need to advertise it better. I'll take it that.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Okay. Reports from the administration.
A couple of things. The hazardous sidewalks discussion that we had a month ago. We've gotten a GovPilot form on our website. The slight delay we had was getting GovPilot to make changes so that when the form is completed, it automatically goes to our code enforcement officer. Also, we created the subject area of sidewalks, which was not in our drop-down list. So those two things have taken place. Karen worked her magic on our menu. If you go on our website, in the upper right-hand corner, you have the topic community. If you look under community, you will see report hazards, sidewalks and curbs. That will take you down to the form and the instructions. You can fill it out and send it in. I just emailed you a few minutes ago a blurb to put on our rotating spotlight so that people will know where to go to find it, because that's always the challenge with the website. Where do we put it? If we put it under code enforcement, which really would be zoning, I don't think people would find it. If we put it in construction, that's really not the right place. So we're putting it under community, but we're going to try to direct people there for the immediate future. So
That's awesome.
And could we advertise it further, like put it on if you have concerns about a curb or a sidewalk, or put it on Facebook or and that kind of thing. That
you can put it on there.
and then tell people you can go on the website and how to access the form.
We can also put out an e-newsletter blurb about it, right?
Yeah, I think we can send that notice out to anybody who signed up,
Correct.
which I can, I'll work on that
And we
tomorrow.
have this information handy maybe at the harvest booth table, since a lot of people will be attending the
Sure.
event.
Good idea.
One other thing that, over the weekend when I was attending the various functions, one of the things I was told by a resident was, hey, we want to get this done, but we don't know the right providers to go to. And I know we in the township are not in the business of trying to give any provider names, vendor names, but is there a list that we can direct them to, saying that go to this list and look for the vendors here? These vendors have worked with the town or have done a good job in the past, something to that effect, where we provide them information. Because I'll be very honest, one of the vendors, he did provide this resident a quote, and this resident did not trust the quote because it looked too frivolous. It was in excess of $3,000, and this resident thought, the vendor is not doing, he's not explaining himself properly and is not doing a good job. So kind of did not trust the vendor. And I've heard this from a number of people. So what can we do and what can't we do? Because I can tell you, like, for example, when you go to a homeowners association and tell them, hey, I want to replace my windows, or I want to get something else that you pointed out I should get done, chimney inspection, do you have a list of vendors? Homeowners association can give that list. So they are thinking along the similar lines and asking, can township provide us with a similar list?
I don't know that, I'd have to look and see what the design standards are for, if you're talking about in the village, in Old York Village.
Either place, not just the village.
You're talking about sidewalks?
No,
Sidewalk.
Oh, sidewalks.
Yes.
I don't know. If somebody calls and asks us who does this, we may give them a couple of names that we know that people have come in. We won't give anybody one name, but we will give somebody a couple names of people we know, but we will not direct them to any one person or make a comment about somebody's business or anything like that.
No, I don't want us to do that at all.
If they call and ask for so somebody who does that, we would.
Comfortable putting a list of vendors on our website.
No, we're not going to do that. But if they call,
that's what.
If they call, we can give them a list of.
When you call, but
we may give them,
different.
if Glenn knows a couple of them, because that's where it would come from. Or
But
if
is
they
there
know of somebody.
also, is there things that people can do themselves to repair? I mean, like if we said, if you have a crack, these are some certain things, or even as maybe get a couple of people that know what they're doing to come in and provide. I'm just asking because it might be more than what, to provide kind of a workshop on behalf of the township of how you can repair your sidewalk.
I don't know
Is that
who we have
doable?
that would be qualified, but
Well, something to
You know,
think about.
there's a saying, no good deed goes unpunished.
Well, I know.
If we instruct someone how to do it, they do it and it fails and someone gets hurt,
That's a good
we're
point.
holding the bag.
That's a
Hate
good
to
point.
look at things through that lens, but I have to.
No, you have to, and you're right. I didn't think
You
of
were
it
and I
from
was
that.
gonna-
I was just
What's
thinking
that?
of it as
You
a,
weren't going to say it. I was going to say it.
yeah, no,
No,
I
it's
was
just-
just thinking of it as a way of offering a service to the township, but you're right. If it's going to put us at a risk, we can't do it.
So on this form, they can send a picture as well and
Yes.
send the location, right?
Mhm. I think half of us sent Glenn a test. I did. He says, everybody's telling me about sidewalks at 295 Bordentown Chesterfield Road. I said, well, we have to test them, make sure it all works. But it does work. He actually
does
sent
work.
me, he sent me a response this morning that my complaint was unfounded. So the system works.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you guys checked it out.
I guess we
Thank
have
you for
to
that update.
also add that disclaimer, just so.
Well, if you read the text, if there's anything more you think we need, it does say in there that we'll notify the property owner of their responsibility, some of the penalties they can be subjected to.
Perfect. I'll take a
We
look.
make no guarantee, obviously, you know, under our ordinance, you know, there are actions that we take. And if there comes to a point where there's non-compliance, then Glenn would issue a notice of violation.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for
Thank you
doing
for
this.
acting fast on this because I
Yeah.
think this was one of the key, I would say, requests that came.
Yeah, we had quite a few people last month.
Anything else from the administration?
Another item is we had and Mayor, you were on this. I don't know if, I don't think you could make it that day, Deputy Mayor, but with the county engineer on the roundabout. And I know Herb Ames is here again. If you want to come up, Herb, just if you want to throw in any comments and things I missed. But we did have a conversation and the chief was on, our engineer was on there, and Will Schaefer from the county, and Joe Brickley, the county engineer. And we talked about the lack of movement on the roundabout at Old York and Marjoram and Chesterfield Crosswicks. It was a lengthy conversation to, I guess, put my finger on the first challenge we have, and we talked about this at length, is the concept for the roundabout. There was one done in-house by the county in 2018. As far as we know, from that point until 2023, there was no action. I think it's fair to say that there was nothing going on. In 2023, and Mr. Brickley related to us that he went to bat for us and got the county to approve a $340,000
45.
conceptual by Limo Engineering. That I do have a copy of that sketch from 2023 to now. According to Mr. Brickley, great progress has been made, judging by the fact that there's very little money left in that contract. However, we haven't gotten any updated version. And through further conversation, if there is immediate money that's made available because of another entity defaulting and being unable to use their grant, there may be an opportunity for us to go after that money. However, without the conceptual completed, we won't be able to do it because we're not then shovel ready. Am I on target here, Herb?
You're on
Mayor,
target.
you were on.
Yeah,
I think that's where we
Go ahead.
I'll let her.
Go ahead. No, go
The
ahead.
only thing I would add to this is that the county did say that they have to look for federal funding for this kind of a project. This project would be in a couple of $1 million, $3+ million. And the county did say that they're looking for, they're looking for somebody who will probably not be able to take the grant money and complete their project, in which case it becomes available for others. And we would be part of that. So that's the only thing that kind of, made me a little uncomfortable because I felt that we should be in the line, shovel ready. But I guess Joe Brickley explained to us that it happens on a regular basis, that there are other pre-approved programs that don't work out. And then the other programs come in. And the only reason I think he gave us as to why we are not on the pre-approved list is because we did not initially qualify for that roundabout to be, it was a question of whether it's in the urban or suburban, I would say, zoning, and then there was some concern around, does, how, I should not say how many accidents or how many issues it has had in the past. So those two things prevented Joe Brickley and the county from trying to get in the line for DVPRC to give it federal funding. But please go ahead.
Yeah, so let me just fill in a couple blanks for you. So that, what you're talking about, happened in 2020. In 2021, that area is now eligible for federal funding, and the federal funding would come from DVRPC. Now, just so that way the committee understands, the county could have filed for DVRPC tip money in 2023, 2024, 2025. They left us out. They did not file. So we made it clear in our meeting that they need to file for 2026 and 2027. In 2025, they missed the deadline. The county missed the deadline, and DVRPC explained that to me. So Joe in our meeting talked about quick obligation funding, which is another county doesn't have a project or has a project that is not going to happen. They can ask another county to accept the money and do their project. So in order to do quick obligation funding, you have to have the plans done and complete. The concept has to be done. So we have asked them to finish the concept as quickly as possible. Now, Mr. Brickley had told us in the meeting that he would send us what they have so far. We haven't seen it. And he also told us that he would capture the meeting in an email and send us so we could comment on it. We haven't seen that. So let me fast forward. They had a meeting this morning at 11 o'clock. It was a county meeting. I attended, sorry to say, but I spelled out exactly what the next steps were. And the first step is to complete the concept plan. They have to do that. The second area that we wanted them to share the concept with us, with the township committee, with affected homeowners in that area. And we asked them to do that as quickly as possible. The third area is we wanted them to include the roundabout in the 26 and 27 TIP proposal, Transportation Improvement Program proposal. The fourth area is we asked them to get this project shovel ready, which means negotiate. You don't have to finalize it, but you can negotiate and get whatever land you have to get it ready. So when it hits, because Joe said it would take, he could start it in 6 months, or he said he could finish. I think he said he could start it in 6 months. It'd be ready in 6 months. Now, the last area that we asked for, if you remember, was even if none of this works, that they would include this project in their capital budget. Now, Joe pushed back on us, saying that they've never done a roundabout in a capital budget, and he kept harping on, well, the taxpayers will get upset. Well, we're taxpayers. I mean, look at us. We're taxpayers. So let's try to get it in the budget. So I went through this morning at the 11 o'clock meeting and specifically told the freeholders, this is where I think we're at. If Joe thinks we're wrong, please, let the county commissioners know. But these are next steps. So at the next meeting, we're going to ask where we're at, and especially with the concept. They've got to get that concept done. It's been 2 years. and they haven't finished the concept. So you're
Constant request on your behalf when we were going through Marjoram Road and we reached out to them and asked to have it. So it's not like they haven't been reminded, the engineer's office, Mr. Brickley's office, on a continuing basis that we want this done.
the emails that Mr. Jackson sent the committee, if you go back and look at them, it goes back to 2018. Our former mayor, Jeremy Leake, who's sitting in the back, he wrote the letter in 2020. This is how long it's been.
We've also been asking since then,
We've been asking
constantly.
constantly. If you check the emails, you'll see where I've specifically asked every 2 or 3 months, and it takes them 2 or 3 months to respond. And their answer is, well, it takes 5 years to get this project done. Well, we've been at it for 9 years. So it's time to get moving. We've been lucky. I'm sure Chief can tell you, we've been very lucky. I mean, if you've gone through that intersection, our luck is going to run out at some point in time. And then everything's just going to hit the fan. I will tell you that I had a private conversation with somebody today who used to work at the county and paved the county roads. And he said to me, that is a terrible road. He said, I used to pave that road. He said, we even had a hard time when we were paving a road. He said the traffic was just crazy. So that's where we're at. So I'll be at the next meeting. Thank you for attending. Let me just say thank you to both of you for supporting me and attending the prior meeting. And thank you for attending the meeting with the county engineer. And we'll just keep plugging away. I mean, we're going to close the gap.
Absolutely. This is a safety issue, and that's number one.
And that's the big key. It's a safety issue. It's a safety issue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to George for taking this on as, supporting us in this
We
effort.
talked quite a bit.
Yes. Well, and I think that's the thing is we can do what we can do, but I also think that staff, in addition to supporting our resident who's really worked towards this, we're all working together.
That's it.
Okay, then moving on to next section for public comments. Can I have a motion to open it for public comments?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody in the public?
Hello, Steve Hazen, 447 Main Street. Here to talk about Municipal Code 182.9, which is trucks over 4 tons on municipality maintained roads. What attracted my interest to this was the increased 18-wheeler traffic past my house down Ellisdale Road. Yesterday morning, there were 3 between 8 and 8:30. Last evening at 4 o'clock, one went through the stop sign and tooted his whistle. So 182.9, A is the weight. B is if you're delivering products, you're allowed to be there. C is there signs. The ordinance says there shall be signs erected. No saying, no vehicles over 4 tons permitted except local deliveries. Ellisdale Road doesn't have one. Margarine doesn't have one. Borden Lane doesn't have one. They're not up. D is the fine that you can fine. Well, if there's no signs up telling trailer drivers that you shouldn't be on the road, even if there was an officer that sees the tractor trailer, knows about the ordinance and stops them, he can't really give them a ticket because the driver didn't know he shouldn't be there. So unless we want to have another school bus incident, and that's why I had boulders around my house, I don't know if a boulder is going to stop an 18-wheeler with 80,000 pounds in the trailer. So your attention to this matter would be appreciated.
George, can you try to connect with Steve on that, just to take a look at the the sign issue for starters.
And Dominic, I know this is a public comment, but if you could give us some insight into this at the next meeting,
Sure.
what we can do and what the legal issues are on some of these roads, that would be really helpful.
Susie Mayon, 16 Chesterfield Crosswicks Road. In regards to the agritourism, I would recommend that the person who's researching it contact the New Jersey Farm Bureau. They have, it's a group that oversees all the farm laws within the state of New Jersey. And I think they would be an excellent resource for them to contact in regards to agritourism and the farmland preserved. Okay. And follow up on the parallel tracking of the HPC subcommittee. I am currently on the subcommittee that is going over the ordinance. I'm just curious as to what the path forward is going to be for the other track. I assume people are going to be contacted or, a chance to partake in that subcommittee. How soon do we think that's going to occur? Is that going to be in the near term, or because that seems like a long-term project just from what we've discussed within the subcommittee? Is there any path forward on that, or do we have to sign up to be volunteers, or how's that going to work? I'm just trying to get the workings of it because, it's in the infancy right now, and I feel like this is long overdue, just like the TDR analysis is long overdue. So the sooner we get these things done is better. Another comment on the TDR analysis, that probably should be done every so often and then put in the master plan. That data should probably be put in the master plan so it's recorded and memorialized. And lastly, another comment on maybe it's a key learning for the group here. Rebecca made a comment that she only had 2 days to review some data. Perhaps that should be, at least 3 or 4 days or something that's reasonable for people, because people have lives, and if they have to take time out of their life to review things, it might take time to get ready for a meeting so they could be more informed. And I just think, every time you have something, you should do a key learning or a step back and say, hey, how can we make this better? How can we make this work better and faster? And, more moving it through rather than punting it down the road. I think that's very important because I've noticed that the agenda doesn't come up till the day before. And I'm assuming that maybe the members don't get notified as quickly as they should. So, it's just a thing that I've been tracking over the years when I've been partaking in these meetings. And thank you very much for letting me speak about this. I hope it helps to improve things for everybody. Thank you.
Hi, Lorraine Panfili, 518 Ward Avenue. I just wanted to thank the Attorney Dominic for coming to the last HPC subcommittee meeting. It was very informative and I think very productive. Thank you for all your help. I want to reiterate a little bit of what Susie just said of, what is the timeline of this, and, what are your objectives and things that you hope to accomplish with the secondary subcommittee. From what I'm aware of most of everything that's going on with this situation. I want to make some suggestions for that particular subcommittee of expertise. I think we need hopefully to have someone that knows how to do planning, somebody that has some architectural information, historic information, which I can bring to the table. And I also make the suggestion that maybe we split the liaisons. And I know that Matt only has a little bit of time left of his, his term. But maybe if we, instead of both of you being on one and one, and that way you can relay information equally and correlate with each other also. Information wise, for what needs to be accomplished, I'm going to call it a foundations subcommittee just for the sake of understanding what it requires. Professional wise, eventually you will need a professional, but the initial information that will be needed is volunteer and also buy-in from the community, because some of the information we don't have at all and we need to get it from the community. And I wanted to know, are we going to make an announcement to publicly let people know that we're working on a township-wide survey and updating the national registry and all of the things that we're going to be doing in the process? Okay. I don't expect answers at the moment, so thank you very much.
Video online. I have a motion to close public comments.
Becca gave us the motion.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I just say one thing is, I think I thought it was pretty clear, but yeah, I think we're going to start as soon as possible with this. And I think we are going to, I'm going to ask Karen to reach out to people on, well, not on this because we've already kind of discussed it, to the HPC to get 2 people. And then we'll open it just as we did with the subcommittee to the public to get, 2 or 3 people from the I don't want to make it too huge, but 2 or 3 people from the community, and that's whoever is interested and has an interest in this is certainly gonna. And then we'll have a meeting. I'd like to, hopefully we'll be able to get through this as quickly, spell out. I think there's been a lot, and I think Dominic has a very good idea of what we need to do that he can give us to work with, and then I think we just can have a couple. I'm hoping we can do it in a couple meetings, but we'll see. But no, I think we need to get this started as soon as possible.
So I thought Lorraine brought up an interesting point, which honestly I had not thought of. But I think it's a really good idea, is providing a public update as to where we are, because I think we live in this kind of this HPC bubble where we assume everyone knows what's going on. But outside of us in the subcommittee, the community really doesn't know what's going on.
Well, I mean, we have gotten a lot of wording done. I don't know how we would. I think.
Well, just
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's just to say, hey, we've
Well-
been, we formed a subcommittee. It's been meeting since June
Yeah.
or whatever it was. We're whatever the level of detail is,
Yeah.
we can kind of decide. But
Yeah.
but I think a lot of the community doesn't know what's happened since the meeting back in May, 2 Mays ago. So I think it's a good idea to provide an update, even if it's just to say, hey, we're.
Well, maybe
still
you and I
working on
can
it.
work on something and ask and get it put on the website.
I think it's a good idea.
Okay, we do have an executive session today, so can I have a motion to get into executive session?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And we are likely to take action now?
No action, no formal action.
Formal action will be taken. So thank you very much for coming in today.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
We'll look forward to that parade.